And welcome back to the Diamond Enigma podcast show. We have got Ricky and I am Michael, and we are your hosts to take you through Wrestlemania Part 2. So, we're going to kick this off with the very first match on the second night. We've got Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. What are your thoughts on this, Rick?
I thought this match was a great match. It went a little too long, though, in my opinion. It was hard-fought and physical match. I enjoyed it. It was a good match, though I don't believe the outcome was the right one.
To me, Charlotte shouldn't be going back to NXT anytime soon.
True, but I know why she's gone back to NXT.
Ratings.
Yes, to beat that other company, which I'm not going to name on my podcast.
AEW.
Fuck off! I'm not talking about that.
We've got to give them props. But anyway, so with the NXT brand heading up against AEW, they're going to have Charlotte as the champion. And in this match, we saw a lot of what I believe will be classed as overselling to make Charlotte Flair seem like the unbeatable person on NXT. Would you agree with that?
Yep, 100%. This is what I said earlier about on part one about NXT wrestlers, why they shouldn't be on the WrestleMania card, because every time they do, they just look like geeks.
If NXT went on the WrestleMania card, would you agree that it should be NXT versus NXT?
Yeah, just an NXT takeover pay-per-view. Just keep it to that.
We had a few back and forth moments in this match. Obviously, Charlotte very early went for the knee. Very predictable, very long match considering what was actually given to us.
It was on for quite a long time, but they did the best they could. It was a good storytelling match as well. Like you said, Charlotte worked on the knee. Rhea Ripley tried to fight back, but it just seemed to me during that match that she's not in Charlotte Lee's league.
Well, we got to put Rhea Ripley on where she actually is. She's the first NXT UK Women's Champion, the first Australian champion we've had in any form in the WWE. So she is a very accomplished wrestler. She's been around the Indies. She's very young as well. I think she's about 23, so she's got 11 years on Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, so she's still quite young. Still got a lot ahead of her.
So saying this, would it be the best option to drop the title to Flair, like what happened? Or would it have been better to keep Ripley with the title and let her lead the NXT brand as the up-and-comers rather than a separate brand?
Well, you say that, but apparently, for what I read up on, there was apparently visa issues with Ripley at the minute. So I believe that's why they probably might have changed the title over. Could be the reason. But even I still think, even if that probably didn't come up, they still would have given the title to Charlotte Flair. It's just another reason to keep Charlotte Flair in NXT for the time being to help with the ratings.
Well, she's the big name. She's got... I mean, even if she said so herself during that match, she made NXT Women's Division, and she did. To be fair. Yep.
I just think... But that's why I said to you earlier about NXT wrestlers that shouldn't be going against the main roster wrestlers on the big stage, because every time WWE stars are going to win.
So, right. What rating would you give that?
I give this match 4 stars.
Well, very generous, I must admit. I gave it 2.5 out of 5.
Well, I give it 4 stars because it was solid wrestling from 2 great women wrestlers.
I felt like it could have been shorter. Less
that was the only thing I had a problem with it. It could have been a bit shorter.
I just found it was very predictable, and Rhea was overselling to Charlotte. It looked outclassed.
Yeah, she made Charlotte look superior.
Which she is, but she doesn't have to sell her to that extreme, in my opinion.
True.
So, right, let's crack it.
Match 2.
Yeah.
Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley.
Right.
What did you think of this match?
we had a typical Bobby Lashley match. It was slow, unengaging. The highlights were literally one sentence: springboard on to the outside.
Nice, short. I'd say it was a nice, short, simple match.
It was a weak finish. Lashley went in there. He did his power moves.
You know the finish. You say it's a weak finish, right? You know the finish. This is what annoys me. When Lana, she came on the apron. She said, I think Lashley looked like he was going to win, and he was going for the Dominator. Lana came on the apron and said, "Oh, do the spear, do the spear." And Bobby Lashley's like, "Okay then, I'll do the spear." Goes for the spear. He runs, and Aleister Black does the Black Mass, knocks him out and pins him. So is that the end of Bobby Lashley and Lana? Is this the ending of these two after so much of my time wasted investing in that wedding and that build-up with the Rusev storyline?
The Rusev storyline was a punishment at the end of the day. All this is just... They're just phoning it in with some people they don't know what to do with. Lana should be more in the women's division.
Really?
Let me finish. Promoting and sometimes tagging with her talent. I think
she got talent.
She's not bad.
Have you seen it wrestle?
Yeah, she can improve.
Well,
I mean, Trish Stratus didn't start off as the greatest wrestler in the world, and a lot of hard work and dedication, and Lana could go down that same path. Maybe not as great as Trish, but
no, no way near.
But if she did dual thing where she was a manager and then something happened and she had to jump in that ring and help out, that would be her little niche market.
The only impressive thing Lana's showing me on WWE television, how quickly she dropped her Russian accent and turned American. So the least we said about that, the better. I'm not a big fan of Lana.
I gave this match a 1 out of 5.
I give it 2. 2 stars. Bobby Lashley got defeated by Aleister Black from the Black Mask from the distraction of Lana, which could potentially be the breakup already of them two. Anyway, next match, match 3. This is my favourite match of the night. I love this match. It was Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. What do you think of this match?
This had probably the best build-up to any match at Mania.
Card. If a match ever needed a crowd, though, it was this match.
You had the suspense. You had the classic battle of I know he's a heavyweight, but he comes across as a light heavyweight wrestler, Dolph Ziggler, against a super heavyweight. You had the classic clash there. You had the storytelling ability of Dolph Ziggler. You had the sympathetic view towards Otis. You just had everything you needed to make a great match.
A great love storytelling wrestling line, this one. I loved it. I just wish they had a crowd for this, because I think when Mandy Rose came out after the music hit, which I don't understand why they're playing the music in front of a no crowd, but when the music hit, I reckon if the crowd was there, they would have gone absolutely bonkers for that moment when she slapped Sonya Deville and she got in the ring and give Dolph Ziggler a low blow.
Which was a compensation to the low blow given to Otis.
Yep. After Dolph Ziggler kicked him in the balls. Literally just before that all happened.
There was a lot of good, solid wrestling in this match.
Do you like Otis?
He's decent.
Do you think he'd be a good singles wrestler, or do you think it should be a tag team?
If he stuck as a tag team with Tucker, he'll be, they could do great things together.
I still think Otis is the best one out of them two. He's the charismatic one. He could pull off being a singles wrestler, in my opinion.
But we had the Caterpillar for the win.
Wee. Oh, yeah.
So what rating did you give this match?
I thought it was a fun match. Would have been better from a crowd reaction, but it's no fault of their own. I give it 3 stars.
I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
The outcome was the perfect outcome. Made me all happy inside. Love is
The, out-
not on the radio. Love is still alive and well.
the
I hope,
outcome.
I hope they have lovely babies and get married for a very long time.
I doubt it because she's actually with someone else. But
Hey, stop breaking kayfabe. Next match.
there is no kayfabe. Talking about no kayfabe, we have got Randy Orton versus the Rated R Superstar Edge.
In a last man standing match. And some say this match is still going on as we speak.
Now, the story build from this started at Royal Rumble.
Yes, Royal Rumble after Edge eliminated Randy Orton from the Royal Rumble in the final 4, I believe it was. Next night on Raw, Edge came out, was thanking the fans, etc. And then Randy Orton came out and started saying, let's form the Rated RKO tag team one last time. And Edge was like, yeah, I'm down for that. And the next minute, boom, out of nowhere, RKO. And then a concerto. And we didn't see Edge for months. And this led to the build-up for WrestleMania for a last man standing match, which I'm trying to think of a good thing to say about this match. It was very creative. It was imaginative. They did beat the shit out of each other, but it went on for far, far too long. It went on what felt like an eternity.
There was a lot of great storytelling, as you said. There was a lot of empty air, so to speak.
Yeah, and the spots where there was in the gym, there was in the gym, and Randy Orton grabbed Edge and put him through this wire and started hanging him from the wire and punched him constantly. Now, we all know some of the stories of Chris Benoit, what happened, and how he committed suicide. Was that a bit of a stupid thing to do for that match?
I believe that a lot of people wouldn't have put them things together, to be honest.
Really?
Honestly,
Chris Benoit killed himself by hanging himself with stuff from the gym, from the rope in the gym.
I'm well aware.
So,
But
whose idea was it to put this in the match?
the thing I've got about this match of is, was it all planned? Because a lot of it looked like they found themselves in a spot where they had dead air and trying to get to the next spot and didn't know how to get there.
Yeah, it's because of the circumstances again come into play, because obviously you'd never wrestle in front of a performance centre in a last man standing match.
Well,
This would be, if this match was in the crowd, with a crowd, sorry, they would be fighting in the crowd, around the arena, outside the arena, back in the arena. It would have got crowd reactions, but I don't think it should have lasted this long. It just felt forever. It was far too long. It must have gone on for about nearly an hour. It felt like nearly an hour.
I
It
believe
was
it
on
was
for
only a
about
half-hour
40
match.
minutes, I think, though. 45 minutes, I think.
They weren't bothered about the social distancing, though. I did notice that. They're going dead
Oh,
close.
trust me, it gets worse after this next match.
They're getting close to the production area. I mean, they're just getting in everyone's faces. They need to just watch the 2 meter distance and just stay away from everyone else.
I felt for Edge so much. He waited 9 years for. I'm just so glad he got his moment at Rumble in front of everybody, because if anyone deserved to have a crowd reaction, it was this guy after 9 years coming back from what was career threatening. And, well, he did thought his career ended. It needed a crowd. He needed a crowd, and I was gutted. This match, it was okay. It was okay. The match was alright. I give this match. I only give it 2 stars, but I just want to give 5 stars to Edge for coming back to wrestling and entertaining us. I love Edge.
I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. But the thing that more impressive to me was the storytelling. Because throughout the match, you had Edge checking on his neck. You had just little moments we could see the old style Randy Orton coming through. Back when he took on Triple H back in 2009. That voices era style.
Yeah.
It could launch Orton into.
Well, he did go for the punt.
Yes, he did.
He went for the punt and missed it.
I mean, in hindsight, during watching this match, there were times I was saying to myself, should Orton still be a relevant wrestler?
During these times, during that match, I was thinking, what man fatigues? It took that long. But it was a good match, though.
Overall, for what they had, what they did with it,
circumstances, I thought he was insane. They both tried.
And you got to understand they got a lot of. Like, Orton had to take care of Edge during that match so carefully to not put him out for another. Well, it'll be end of his career, won't it, really?
When this is all blown over and we get to go back to the old days where we get to have crowds, Edge will have another match, no doubt about it. And he'll get the ovation that he deserves.
Bring back Edge and Christian.
I would give him a universal, not universal, a WWE title run again, one last time. I really would.
He can, if he can still pull it off, let him go for it.
Of course he can. He's the rated R superstar, and he's also a really ace guy. I'm not being biased because I met him. I just think he's an ace guy.
I mean, he has the mighty skills to be able to pull off promos without going into the ring each and every night, which will work in his favour as a champion.
Just imagine the next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, and Edge comes as a late replacement and wins the Money in the Bank. That's another story.
Yeah, but in terms of that, would you book Edge with the injuries he's got to go into a ladder match again?
Well, Lesnar went into a Money in the Bank match and was in it for 7 seconds. I'm sure they could do it again some sort of way like that for Edge.
Lesnar gets given special circumstances because he's a big draw.
Yeah, I know, but all those guys, Lesnar, I mean, all those guys putting their boys on the line just for someone like Lesnar who don't even need the Money in the Bank to come and get it after 7 seconds. That was just... Anyway, that's another pay-per-view we're talking about.
That's another conversation for another time. Let's crack on to the Gronk 24/7 Championship.
And I just put on here, whoop-de-doo.
I put Gronk's dive and won 24/7, and that's the end of that. So next match after that was the Austin Theory.
Say, the social distancing thing, literally about 20 wrestlers came out who I'd never even seen before in my life, was all gathered down. I was just like, this ain't social distancing. There's 20 wrestlers piling on for a belt here. What's going on?
Anyway, we got the Austin Theory and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits. Tell me your thoughts on this one.
But the Raw Tag Team Championship, it was just there. It was just there. It didn't need to be there. It was just a match filler. Short and sweet. Nice match. Street Profits win via the frog splash. It was okay.
The most entertaining bit to me was it came after the match when Bianca Belair came out and it looked like we could have a formation of a great partnership between the Street Profits and Belair.
It's not very every day you see a husband and wife team up on WWE.
I mean, look at Naomi and Jimmy, is it?
Well, yeah, Jimmy still feels the glow, and she's been down since day one.
Yeah. But no, the thing is, though, they look as a stable, they look like they'll go well together with the attitudes.
Yeah, they will. They're good tag. I like the Street Profits.
They're good. They're very good promo work.
And Street Profits are the 2020 version of Crime Time. There, I said it. I'm done. I'm out on that one.
Mic drop. Next match.
Right, next match.
It was a 5-way for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Ooh, Bayley, your defending champion, up against the boss, Sasha Banks, Naomi, as we just mentioned, Lacey Evans, and Tamina. So...
Dan. So traditional.
So little heads up about Bayley. Did mention that she was the only woman to hold the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT championships, and the only one to successfully defend a woman's title in Saudi Arabia. Little fun facts for you there, guys.
There we go. See, we call it Wikipedia. A little short note. My favourite wrestler in this match, for all women, is Sasha Banks. I just love Sasha Banks. Although I am leaning towards Lacey Evans recently because I love Lacey Evans, but Sasha Banks is my favourite. Anyway, for some reason this match, they made Tamina look very strong. Don't know why, but she took every finisher and took all four to pin her. Can someone explain that to me? Because we haven't seen Tamina for like 2 years prior to this, built towards this match.
Tamina came out, she did the typical power wrestler versus everyone else. It was, to
But
me...
why? She's not even that powerful.
No, but to me, it made sense simply for a booking point of stance. Without being funny, she doesn't get the biggest crowd reactions. Even though there wasn't a crowd, there's still people watching, and people invest more in the other four wrestlers. So get her out first. You got to put her over. 1, they put her over as a powerhouse. 2, they got rid of her quick. 3, you focus on the wrestlers you're more invested in. So for her, that was a good little pop. It made the match, slightly less bearable for that little bit of time. But when it got to the 4 of them, that's when it started kicking off.
Yeah, I'll just do it in order as I put it down. It was Tamina was eliminated first after taking 4 finishes. Naomi got eliminated by Sasha Banks via the submission bank statement. Then Sasha Banks got eliminated by Lacey Evans via a pinfall from the woman's right. But I think the story to this now is after when Bayley retains, after help from Sasha pin Lacey Evans, I think the story here is Bayley could have broke that pin up to help Sasha Banks keep in the match. But they've been doing this storyline now for this breakup between these two. I'm not even shitting you, for about 3 years now, and it never happens. And when it does happen, they get back together again like 2 weeks later. I don't know where this is going. I don't have a clue. What's the end product of this?
We had a lot of Bayley and Sasha teaming up throughout the whole match, and we thought that critical moment when they first got each other's faces, this was the end of it. And then they screwed that up by Sasha coming in and helping Bayley.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense.
Maybe there's more to meet the eye on that one, but I don't take this feud between Sasha and Bayley serious anymore because every time it happens, it just goes nowhere.
It fizzles out and becomes best friends again.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going with this. Maybe they might save the big split for SummerSlam or Survivor Series to see what the crowd's going to be like. I mean, I can only assume Sasha Banks is going to turn to the babyface for this. I really don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with it. We'll see what happens. What did you give this out of 5 stars?
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Simply because they were good solid wrestling, it had good story, confusing as we've come to say at times, but Lacey Evans is gonna be the next big thing in that women's division for that title.
Totally agree with you. I think she's absolutely ace, and she's going to win the title one day. I like Lacey Evans.
She is a very good wrestler, and she does need more of a push than what she's getting.
She does. We all know that it's a woman's right. Anyway, this next match, I didn't even say it was a match because I didn't know what to put for this.
I've literally got 3 letters. WTF.
That's what I had.
Mic drop. Let's just discuss it for what it is. It was basically an extended promo.
Did you get the match?
I understood.
Well, did you get not the match? It wasn't even a match. I don't know what it was.
I understood the segment.
Yeah.
I understood everything worth trying to say. The main issue I didn't understand was it needed at Mania?
Did they have this planned though prior to having no crowd, do you reckon?
I will say this has been building, and it was always on the cards to do something along the lines, but to this extent, I will say just because of the virus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't think I didn't know. I don't know what to say about this because it was such a John Cena versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse match. I thought it was going to be like the Boneyard match sort of style.
Me too. I expected loads of ridiculous puppets,
Yeah,
like getting hit with an inflatable spoon or something, something ridiculous, but they
it was
take the
incredible.
fun.
I did enjoy it. I felt like I just sat in my front room, took a load of drugs, and just watched that shit part of the WrestleMania.
It was a story tie on LSD. Let's be fair. It was very creative.
We saw
But
the ruthless aggression John Cena. We saw the basic economics John Cena. Then we saw hustle, loyalty, and respect John Cena. Then we came to the John Cena's part in his career where everyone wanted to turn heel, but he didn't. That's why I did the NWO reference, because it was like that for Hogan back in the day, but Hogan actually did turn heel and was successful from it. But they didn't do that with John Cena because he wouldn't turn. And then he came back as... Well, I think the end bit made him look like he was too old to be there. I think that's what was going with that. Like he shouldn't be there anymore because I think there was I think it was John Cena on SmackDown and they kept repeating it saying you're overhyped.
Yes, I know exactly where you're going with this.
And then during when the mandible claw was on from the Fiend, they kept saying that over and over again.
The thing is, though, it was set up for John Cena meant to have been talking to Bray, but he was actually talking to himself. I mean, to me, where does Cena go from here?
Well, Cena, you won't see Cena now till next year.
Well, have we all seen enough of John Cena to say he's had a great career? Call it.
No, he can still do a good match.
But story-wise, what's he gonna do? Because this.
But did he get pinned? I mean, he didn't get pinned.
He got pinned by the Fiend.
He got pinned, but there's no official referee to say who's a official pin.
By Bray Wyatt. He was the official.
Oh, so Bray Wyatt's got the authority to be referee now, is he?
I'm just surprised you didn't get Bo Dallas in there somewhere. Let's be fair.
Well, they did mention Husky Harris a lot, which was I thought Michael's going to love this.
I did. I actually howled at that.
I know how big of a fan Husky Harris you was. You absolutely adored him. You was the only person at one of the events I went to was chanting Husky Harris when Bray Wyatt was out, and I was just like, oh.
You have to remind him that how far he's from.
Husky Harris. That's how you get chanted.
But to me, this did put Bray across, like in his kookiness and craziness. It put him across.
He's a creative genius. Like the Vince McMahon puppet said, this was such good shit.
That was a highlight of WrestleMania. Vince McMahon puppet next to the Macho, whatever the crap it was called.
But this is on a serious note now. If you were sat there with Katie watching this and she is not familiar with any wrestlers, right? And she was watching that and she saw John Cena beating up a stuffed pig puppet, what does that make it for reviewers?
Right, I literally did. By the way, Katie is my partner and she's not a wrestling fan, and we watched All Mania together, and she literally looked at me and went, "What the fuck is going on?" And I shit you not, I turned to her, I looked at her, I went, "I don't know." And as a wrestling fan for 26, 27 years so since I was a little one, for a wrestling fan, be able to turn around to a non-wrestling fan and say, "I don't know what the hell's going on."
There was a scene where John Cena was on his knees punching a pig puppet.
I was about to make a Mickey James joke then.
No, Mickey James is lovely. Don't say that. She's you know she's nice. We've met her. She was ever so friendly to you. You've got no right to calling her any names.
It just pops in my head. You can't help it.
I can't remember the pig's name on it. What's the pig's name? Husky the pig, I think, or something like that. Husky.
Back
Either
to
way,
heaven.
John Cena was pummeling it, and it looked very weird at the time. I was like, "This is WrestleMania, right?"
Yeah. For me, it had no right to be on there.
John Cena coming out NWO style was pretty cool as well.
He looked good.
Yeah. He looked a bit of a dick, though, with his Ruthless Aggression shorts on, though. I'm not going to lie. And then he did the Saturday Night Main Event thing when he was doing the talking like 80s Stars promo next to Bray Wyatt, and he was getting the pump handles and pumping up really fast. I was like, jeez.
That was hilarious.
Because he's the Hulk Hogan of the WWE, member.
Well, apart from the racism, yes.
You said we've got to be good, so let's not talk about that.
Can we just put, before we put this to bed, just one more spot that what I mentioned that absolutely made me howl was when Bray Wyatt turned to John Cena and went, "You can look, but you can't touch." that was the mic drop moment. Like, bitch, take that. Whatever you say now doesn't matter.
I don't know why. It was very strange, very, very strange. Weird, but I did really enjoy it. It was good. Whatever it was. I didn't give it a rating because it wasn't even a match. I just watched it.
To me, it was a segment.
It was mesmerizing. That would be the word for that.
So from one mesmerizing match to the main event.
The main event of WrestleMania 36.
Right. Brock Lesnar versus
Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. And this was pretty much like copy and paste from the Goldberg and Braun Strowman match, but slightly better.
Well, at least Lesnar put a bit of work in the match. The thing that annoyed me was they tried to put Drew across as an unsuccessful wrestler.
Well, he was in 3MB.
This man has got 9 titles to his name across the world. From the DPW Championship to the OCW, the Evolve, SWA, FCW, ICW, TNA, NXT. He's got titles coming out of his arsehole, this man. And he's being classed as like almost unworthy of that title, which did annoy me. I will say that.
Yeah, but look at the reaction he got at Rumble when he did eliminate Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I mean, we've
at least he'll have that, cherish that for the rest of his life.
I've always been a big fan of Drew. Always.
I know you have. We've had many conversations in the past about the Chosen One.
I mean, he had everything, and then they put him in.
This had a crowd, right? It would have been absolutely amazing. The crowd would have been going nuts for Drew McIntyre to obviously win this. And I think if he had a main end, you know, like WrestleMania, like all the rest have like epic entrances, don't they?
Yeah.
I reckon he would have come out to Broken Dreams. And I think that would have been absolutely amazing. That song is for a main eventer. I don't like the current song he's got now with the Scottish bagpipes. It should be Broken Dreams.
Well, Broken Dreams would have been perfect to enter simply because what is yours now is mine.
Exactly. It would have made sense. It would have been perfect. It would have pumped the crowd up. It would have pumped him up. It would have just been absolutely ace. I would have loved it. But unfortunately, it didn't happen because of the circumstances we're in right now.
That would have brought us to when John Cena first debuted the "My Time Is Now" song.
Yeah, that would have been a proper, true WrestleMania moment as well.
But yeah, it was a good, solid match. It
was a short, typical Brock Lesnar match, but a lot of effort into it. Drew took 2 F5s, kicks out. He kicks out of a third F5, and then Drew McIntyre came back, did about 2 or 3 Claymore kicks, hit the 4th Claymore kick, and won the WWE title. But I just felt so bad for him, like proper. Oh, if that had a crowd, they would have blown the roof off the place like they did the Rumble. I just think I just felt for him. I'm glad he won it though. So glad he won it.
From a match point of stance, it was good, it was solid. He put Brock across as the Beast incarnate still.
Yeah.
Brock didn't lose anything from that match.
No, Brock never does though. That's the thing.
Well,
People like losing to people like Drew McIntyre or like that. Then it's not going to affect him that much.
well, he's a clever businessman who knows when to pull and when to allow things to go over. And
The right person over.
yes, that's a more important phrase.
Yeah.
Would you have thought he would have let Braun Strowman do a similar situation with him,
He
or
didn't.
do you think it was simply for Drew?
No, he didn't. He didn't put Braun Strowman over. They've had 3 matches, I think, maybe 4, but only 3 in my mind that was I'm thinking about it. And every time Brock Lesnar's beat the shit out of him and won him.
Yeah, but I'm saying Vince goes up to Brock. You got to drop the title tonight to Braun Strowman. He ain't got a choice about it. Do you think Brock would have put him across like he did Drew, or do you think he would have made him look a bit ridiculous?
Probably made him look a bit ridiculous, like Brock Lesnar did to Dean Ambrose at another WrestleMania.
Yeah. Or even the infamous Brock Lesnar John Cena when Brock was pissed at how he was perceived at Extreme Rules, so he just gave John Cena so many suplexes. It was ridiculous.
That was a good match, but we're going off the topic of this match.
Right. What's your rating for this match?
I gave it 4 stars. I would have given it 5 if it had a crowd because I think he deserves it.
I gave it 3.5.
I'm just hoping, in my opinion, that they have a rematch with a crowd to put Drew McIntyre over again.
See, a rematch would be great with a crowd, but I think the main pitfall would be doing it too soon.
Oh yeah, so not straight away. I'm on about some near in the future.
I would say at a very minimum amount of time, a year. Next WrestleMania, Brock comes, the Beast incarnate. He's pissed. He's ready to wrestle. He goes in there. He goes Suplex City, and then Drew yet again turns the tide. I think that would be solid.
Yep. We all know it was the right action after the crowd response at Rumble. The crowd, this is why you need a crowd. The crowd tells you what you need to know.
Well,
If the crowd's invested, like they did with the Otis storyline, the Drew McIntyre storyline, the Edge and Randy Orton storyline, then you know you're on a winner. But if the crowd is silent, then you know you got to shake things up a little bit.
If you would have checked Twitter, there was massive pops for Boneyard, Firefly. The Goldberg match didn't get a massive Twitter response, but Brock and Drew, it was up there.
Good.
So you got the 4 big matches, and you know.
Can you imagine the Raw after Mania? How much crowd response is? Because they're always like the hardcore fans, mainly from the British fans. But I still think they would have got absolutely amazing reactions to what happened after Mania. Such a shame there's no crowd, but there's still hope for the future if they're still going to be the champions.
So that's the end of part 2 of WrestleMania. Before we throw this out, let's just bring up one topic. The next pay-per-view. If we are under this circumstance still, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, it's Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I believe. That's the commercial I saw during WrestleMania, and I think they put it early because it's normally in June, isn't it?
Well, I think it's because they didn't have anything lined up, like a backlash or anything like that lined up, did they?
Yeah, but how the hell can you pull off a Money in the Bank match with no crowd?
You see, this is the big problem. You're getting loads. You're getting fair few wrestlers saying we can't come to the matches, and then you're pulling off some a row of matches that involves a good number of wrestlers. How are they going to do it?
8 wrestlers, I think it's in a Money in the Bank ladder match, I believe.
But how many Money in the Bank matches are they going to put on then?
Well, normally it's 2, isn't it?
Yeah,
normally
but
it's a women's one and 1 man's one, and they have 4 men from Raw, 4 men from SmackDown for the men's Money in the Bank, and they can cash in on either Raw or SmackDown, and same for the women. But I think last year, they did a couple of NXT wrestlers in it as well. I can't remember. I'll have to look into that.
But with stars like Roman Reigns and The Miz not being able to attend, what are they going to do?
I don't know. This is why I'm intrigued to watch the Raw and SmackDowns after it and see where they're going with this, because no one knows how long this is going to last for when it comes to social distancing and no crowds and whatever. So we're all in limbo at the minute.
Is it going to come to a point where we're going to have to make the events shorter? Are we going to have a shorter Raw and SmackDown?
Well, SmackDown's only on for an hour and a half now anyway. It's a 2 hour show minus the breaks. Maybe shorten Raw a little bit because but then again, the WWE have got that much backlog of library they could put on 3 hours just by replaying old matches.
I was actually going to go into another question. I was going to probe to you.
What's that?
Would you be, as a fan, sitting there watching, say, Monday Night Raw, and they say, here's a top 10? Would you be happy with that?
Of what?
Of anything. Say, top 10, either like title matches at Raw, or top 10 Raw moments, or anything.
When you are stuck in your house constantly day after day, you just want to be entertained. When you ain't got Sheamus on the telly, you got to make do what you've got. And I salute every wrestler trying to entertain us during these times. So I would happily take a top 10. I'll take top anything because it keeps me occupied and keeps us all minds busy.
With that in mind, how would they put together a storyline for the next pay-per-view?
I don't know. I honestly don't know how they're going to do it. Well, only time will tell on that. Let's just see what WWE try to create from this, and let's see where they go from here. Then once they produce the shows, then we can start talking about it. All we can say right now is that we just got to tip our hat to them and say thank you for entertaining us during these bad times right now we're all living in.
Overall, WrestleMania was, I would say, it was a good success.
It was a good success. It was a great show considering the circumstances.
From what has happened and the unavailability of wrestlers and the unsure economic times,
I think they did well.
They're gonna. Could it also lead to a more like static product of WWE where they're not traveling around as much in the future once it's all over?
Doubt that. I highly doubt that. It's World Wrestling Entertainment. They need to. They've got hardcore fans. They've got more hardcore fans over from America, out of America, sorry, than they have in America. Mainly the UK.
Yes, they have actually, and they could do with spending a good month or so in the UK.
Yep.
And maybe a good month or so in different countries, rather than touring us getting the scrap ends, let's say.
Yeah, I think we deserve more than just 2 shows a year.
And also NXT UK in Bournemouth.
Well, I think NXT UK was also in Hull at one point.
I thought the primarily doing it in Bournemouth now.
Oh yeah, but I'm about just for like shows.
Yeah,
just like that. They just need to do. I don't know what they're going to do though. It's hard to say when it comes to what's going to happen after this is all over. Only, like I said, only time will tell, and we can only just hope that it's just going to continue how it was. Wrestling needs a crowd at the end of the day because it's a entertainment, and it needs a reaction. You do stuff in the ring to get a reaction from the crowd, whether it's in the arena and at home. So it needs a crowd, and the sooner we get the crowd back, the better. But it's one of the only 2 sports that can have it without a crowd, though.
Yes.
I think snooker could get away with it.
I don't know. Ronnie will be very, very miffed.
But yeah, all I want to say to end this is that I appreciate and thank every WWE wrestler performing during these bad times to entertain us. We was entertained.
And on that note, thank you everyone for listening to our first podcast sessions.
It was
this is very new for both of us. So please just follow us on social media. We'll be around on Podbean. We're putting them up on YouTube. Subscribe to us. We are the Diamond Enigma podcast.
I believe that all the details you need to know will be in the description
below.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to see you all again very shortly. Thank you and goodbye.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.